Hi, this is Dr. Greg Gillum, CEO of Human Fusion, and welcome to Step 8, the final step in the change process. And remember, we are reviewing the book, Leading Change, by Harvard Business School professor John Kotter, and we've made it to the last step. So I'm going to put the steps actually in the show notes, so you'll see that down below if you've just tuned into this video and you haven't watched the other ones yet. So I'll put the steps in there. But this is where we actually ingrain our new practices into the culture of an organization. Now, this is a very intangible thing to do, so it's much more of a leadership function on the surface, and yet the managers of an organization are primarily responsible for making sure it happens. So what is culture? Two things come to mind here. Number one, it's a culmination of the norms of behavior. So if we expect every single person to act with respect and with civility, then we don't allow people to act rude and incivil. That's a norm of behavior. Second thing is shared values. So one of the things that is very important, and this reminds me of when Jack Welch would walk around GE and talk about the shared values of General Electric. And if you didn't know the values, you were fired on the spot. Now, it didn't take very long for that to get around the company, and managers knew their values after that, because values set the tone. They deliver the behaviors that the organization expects to happen. All right, so how does this happen? So here are some ways that you can sort of embed culture or embed this change process into your culture. Number one, all the new practices that are reflective of the change process, talk about those every chance that you get. The old culture, things that happened in the past, talk about how they are no longer helpful in the new organization. Encourage people who actually don't sort of embody the new practices, encourage them to leave your organization, because they're not going to be happy there, and you're not going to be tolerant of them any longer. So it's a win-win to actually let those people go. That's positive turnover in the HR department. And then finally, make sure that your onboarding practices, like hiring, your promotional practices, actually reflect those changes and align with your new corporate culture. And remember, I think it's important to know that not everything about cultures are broken. There's probably a lot of things about your culture that's very, very good. So a lot of these change efforts are taking specific norms and changing specific norms. So don't think about it as an all-encompassing process. Maybe it's just a fine little tweak that you need. I hope you've enjoyed this book review as much as I have enjoyed looking back. This book means a lot to me in my management career and in my coaching career as well. And if you like these types of management related videos, please subscribe to Human Fusion, and we'll keep you up to date on all the latest trends that are affecting your management practice today. Thanks.